So we are going to be doing a bronzy summery look. This is based off of Jess Payne. She is a celebrity makeup artist and she did a masterclass online, and I will be recreating that look and sharing all of her tips and tricks that she mentioned in the Zoom. So let's get started. She starts off with a radiance and blurring primer. So I'm going to apply that first. I'm just going to use my Girl Next Door foundation brush to apply it all over. She mentioned if you are an oilier skin type, she would use a mattifying primer where you're oily. So if it's like T-zone, she would do a mattifying primer there and skip the radiance primer. Oh, and actually, so I always start with the skin, so she actually started with the eyes, so I'm gonna skip to that real quick. And she always starts with an eyeshadow primer, so I'm using MAC's Painterly. And close your eyes for me. She mentioned that you don't want to get too much up to the eyebrow. You want that to be more skin tone and flesh tone, so kind of concentrate on just focusing this on the lid and then blending upward. And I'm using my concealer brush from my Girl Next Door collection to apply that. Okay. So then she said she always starts with a bronzer in the crease, and she was using a fluffy blending brush. So it was almost identical to this Girl Next Door blending brush. And this is the Golden Goddess bronzer that I'm going to start with in the crease. She mentioned if you're doing your own makeup, you want to look down into the mirror like this, so you can see where you're applying the color in your crease. So look down for me. And I'm just gonna start focusing this right in the crease. Look into the camera, see the difference? Just a little bit there. She said that she also kind of sweeps this corner out into like a little V. So I'm just lightly doing that on each side too. When you have almost nothing left on your brush, just kind of flick it out so that there's not a definite line there. Okay, then I'm going to go in with a slightly darker color, same brush, and I'm going to be using this middle like chocolatey brown color from my Timeless palette. And I'm just going to deepen up that outer corner a little bit. And same thing, just kind of swish into the V motion on the outer corner once you have almost nothing left on the brush. I'm serious, this brush just makes it blend so effortlessly. Just keep doing little tiny like circular motions like this and then fluffing it up on the corner. Take a look. So we just deepened those outer corners a bit. Okay, then she took a smaller blending brush, which I'm gonna do the smaller blending Girl Next Door brush. And she used a rustic color on the outer corner crease. So I'm gonna be doing from the Old Fashioned palette, this kind of rusticy brown there. And again, you wanna focus this closer to the lash line and the outer corner. Super pretty. Okay. Now she said it doesn't matter who it is, she always applies a little bit of shimmer into the, like right above your eye color on the lid. So I'm going to use my Girl Next Door gold eye shimmer in the color Stiletto. And just put that on her eye. I'm gonna use my ring finger to apply, and you wanna concentrate this just above the eye color, so right in the center. Like that. So pretty. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just when it hits the light. Okay, so let's see. We just did the cream. She said she always uses a gold color too, which this one is. Then she uses the one she used is called Lionfish. I think it's by Stila. It's like a gel pencil liner, and it's a medium brown shade with like a gold shimmer. So I'm gonna use something that's similar to that. I'm just using what I have at home, and let's see. So she started by putting this in the waterline of the eye and then above the lash line as well. And then she took a brush to smudge it out. So I'm gonna use my Girl Next Door eyeliner brush to smudge it out once I apply it. So close for me. So I'm just pressing it lightly into the lash line. And then I'm going to, before it dries, take my eyeliner brush and blend it up and out, which is, she did make a wing, so that's what I'm gonna recreate here. It's coming together.
I love the wing.
Okay, same thing on this other eye, just pressing that color right into the lash line. And I don't go all the way into the inner corner. I use the brush to blend it that direction, just so it's not too harsh. And then I just kind of start flicking up the corner. You can add a little more if you need more to work with. And this brush makes it so easy to just kind of pull that corner out. Let me see. Close for me. I'm gonna do your waterline, so look that way for me. Close again. Maybe we'll skip that.
Which waterline?
The inner.
You can do it again.
Okay, look this way now. Is that okay? Look
Yeah.
that way. You okay?
I thought you were trying to do the bottom.
So, yeah. Okay. So then she went over the liner with a dark brown eyeshadow. So I'm going to use the darkest brown in my Timeless palette and just go over that line. It kind of sets the, it softens it and also sets the liner so that it doesn't move. And she said she almost never uses black eyeliner. She always uses dark brown. Just because it looks more natural and it's not so harsh. She's all about the natural looking vibe, which is why I love her so much. I'm just taking a slightly lighter brown shade and cleaning up the top edge. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so now we're gonna add mascara. That's not mascara. Just look down for me. I feel okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, look at me. She said that she coats the top and the bottom of the lash to make sure she gets everything coated, especially if you're not wearing fake lashes. And the interesting thing that I noticed is she never added any shadow or mascara on the bottom line. So we'll see how this comes together. I might add that just because I like that look, but just if you're wanting to go off of exactly what she did not add anything to the bottom lash line, which I think helps make everything look a little more lifted especially if you're doing like a more mature skin, you don't want anything like dragging down. You want everything to stay kind of lifted and above. Okay, so we're done with eyes for now. She does come back to that, but we're done for now. So I did the face primer. Now we're gonna add some CC cream, actually BB cream. And I'm going to be using my Girl Next Door brush. And she mentioned too that even if you're a cool skin tone, she likes to do a warmer base, just to kind of give a little more warmth and life to the skin. And she likes CC and BB creams because they're natural looking. You can still kind of see your natural skin show through. It's not like a mask, which she likes as well, as do I. How good does that brush feel? It feels so good.
And I like that BB cream.
Yeah. Okay, we added our CC cream. And we're gonna go to concealer. Okay, now this is, I don't have this product, but she said she almost always puts like a pink salmon colored brightener on first. She said almost everybody can use a little brightening. So she would do a pink color first and then go over it with the concealer. So I don't have a salmon color or a pink color. So I'm just gonna do what I typically would do. And a tip that she had for this too was make sure you get in this inner corner, which we all have veins there. It's always dark, so you wanna brighten that up. And then don't bring the concealer too close to the under eye, because you don't want it to get cakey, you don't want it to start creasing, so you want as little amount as possible closest to your lash line. So inner corner. And then also a tip is like make sure that this line is kind of sharp, again for that like lifted look. And I'm going to use my beauty blender to blend this out. A cup for me. She also did a little bit of concealer on the middle of the forehead, a little down the nose, and a little on the chin. So I'm just using what's left. And the sides of the nose, don't forget that, because we all have a little redness there. Okay, and now I'm gonna take my concealer brush again and just kind of blend the edges up into the lash line like she said. Things are looking good. Okay. Now, another reason that I like her so much is she does not put powder all over her face. She actually used a lavender color powder, pressed powder. Again, this is for brightening. I don't have that, so I'm gonna use a tiny bit of the Laura Mercier powder. She absolutely hates baking because she said it can, especially if you are, 30 plus and you have any sort of creasing or wrinkles, like that's just going to accentuate it. So the tiniest bit of powder to set the makeup, and that's it. Let's see. Oh, before I do powder, I need to do cream bronzer.
Yes.
Why are you excited?
I love the bronzer.
So I'm gonna do the Chanel cream bronzer, and I'm gonna do my face brush. And we're just going to concentrate that right under the cheekbone, the hairline. This bronzer is so good for light to light medium skin tones. If you're a medium skin tone, it's probably not going to show up on you. But if you're light, this is my favorite. Okay, and then she does a little on the sides of the nose, just to bring warmth to the center of the face. Okay, let's see. Now she does the powder. So under eyes, chin, and nose, we're just gonna do, I'm actually gonna do my highlighter brush because it goes perfectly into the inner corner, and use the tiniest bit of powder. Nose, chin. Okay, and then she added highlighter, which was like a golden color. So I'm gonna use Girl Next Door Glow Getter, obviously. And she did the top of the cheekbones. She even went up above like the brow a little bit on this side. She did a bit on the tip of the nose, and then right between the eyes. Just gonna blend that out. And I'm gonna do a little on Cupid's bow as well. Beautiful. Okay, this was interesting. Then she did blush. I usually do blush and then highlight, and she used a very neutral blush. So I'm going to do my Girl Next Door blush. And the Girl Next Door blush brush as well. So we're just gonna go right over that. Just kind of blend everything together. Beautiful. And then she did do a little bit of blush right between the eyes as well. And then this is where she went back and added a tiny bit of that blush color, as long as it's neutral, back into the crease of the eye to tie everything together. So close for me. So I'm gonna add a tiny bit of that color right back into the crease. Just to tie everything together. And then, okay, then brows. So she used the Anastasia Brow Wiz. We're just gonna brush them up and out. One thing that she mentioned with brows is never press and draw. So everything you want to do is very light hair-like strokes. Don't ever press and draw the line. So after you brush the eyebrows up and out, you really only need to fill in where there's any spaces. So McKenna has great brows, so I'm just gonna do a tiny bit on her tail and maybe on this inner corner. And I'm just doing the lightest brow strokes. And I personally would set the brows with like a clear brow gel, but she didn't do anything. She just left them like that. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay. Now we're gonna do her lips, and we're gonna line with my Girl Next Door Naked Liner. She likes to overdraw the lips just a bit, so I'm going to and then I'm gonna add some Girl Next Door. This is Do Good. This is like a perfect nudie peachy pink. Then I'm going to do a little of my Dainty, which is a more nude, lighter color in the center of the lip. Blend. And then I'm just going to take this little bullet brush from Girl Next Door and clean up the corners. So I'm just like blending everything. And typically I would do a gloss on top too, but she didn't, so we'll leave it as is. And let's see. Oh, this was an interesting, so then she went back and contoured the lips a little bit. This is where things get weird. So she takes the cream bronzer and she, I'm gonna do my concealer brush. She took it below the bottom lip, so like right underneath here, kind of like create a shadow. And then she also made a mustache, like right here, and then right in the middle of the Cupid's bow. And then took the Beauty Blender and blended it out, just to create more pout. Do you look poutier?
I'm not sure.
Okay, we did lips, and then she talked about like if you're not matching, you can add CC cream to the neck. You can add your highlighter to your décolleté. So I'll do a little highlight just to tie everything together on those bones. light just right. And then the last thing she did was actually go back and add a little bit of powder bronzer to warm it up. And I'm going to be using my powder brush. Go down the neck. Okay, and that is the finished look. Want to take your hair out?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, get close if you can and let people see. Looks so natural, pretty, glowy.
I love it.
Beautiful. So hopefully you learned a few tips and tricks, and let me know if you have any feedback in the comments. Thanks for watching.